Hey, everybody. 11 minutes late with a little bit of feedback, but welcome to the Funnels and Follow-Up Show. I am your host, Catherine Cohen. And let's go ahead and put that volume down a little bit. Because as you know, I was never the technical person of this team. And unfortunately, I'm still learning along with you. But we have, as always, great information, great guests. I'm trying to figure out which one of my cameras is actually working. Today, I have two, oh my God, amazing ladies, dear ladies. I have learned tremendous amounts from them. We have been friends for years. They are at all kinds of events, helping all kinds of people do all kinds of things in this space. I have Toni Kauffman and Linda Cain. Thank you guys for coming on the show, even with my little screw-ups and everything.
I love your screw-ups, Catherine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Catherine, it's perfect imperfection.
It is at that, because we want to put on a show every single week. We want to I want to give people information to help you guys along with your business, help you build that funnel, and not the funnel that's ClickFunnels or Kartra or Infusionsoft, but the funnel of the methodology in order to get people into your world, to get people to understand who you are, what you do, and get them to fall in love with you and buy your product or service. Now, one of the main ways, as long as, Barry and I, and now just me in this coaching business, one of the main things that we had been taught over the years, that it was do a 3-day event, do a live event, drive people to a live event. At the live event, you give all this information, you give all these lessons, you give all of this stuff, you give your heart, you give your soul, you bleed on that stage, and then you make an offer. And then you make a damn good offer. And here's the problem. This is an evergreen show. So, hey, it may be 10 years down the line when you're actually watching this show and this COVID-19 thing is just a thing of the past. But for right now, it is not. It is not. And 2020 is the worst year ever. Live events are being canceled, whether it's a sporting event, whether it's graduations, weddings, anything, everything is being canceled. And that includes 3-day events. That includes these amazing learning shops, learning opportunities for people to come for free or for a really low price, learn a whole bunch of stuff, and you can leave or you can continue to work with the coach. And one of the people that over the years I've seen it every single show, because she is running the show. She is doing all the stuff that needs to be done so that the speakers on stage look good, sound good, everything, is Linda Cain. And Linda, your business has been completely doing the live shows. And then Toni's business has been recording the shows and repurposing those recordings and helping the speakers, authors, trainers, teachers, whatever, take those recordings and repurpose them into courses, into ads, into all of this stuff. Ladies, what the hell's going on in the world?
Well, live events have completely flipped and gone online. And we're basically taking all those components that you experienced at a live event, and we're learning how to convert that experience into this online experience and the amazing online platform. And the amazing thing about it is people love it. There's no barriers to entry. You don't have to get in a car. You don't have to get in a plane. You don't have to get on a bike. You don't have to get any of those ways that you got to events. You don't have hotel costs. You don't have to figure out who your roommate's going to be and whether they're going to snore or not, and keep you up all night. Right? And so all those barriers, all those things that made people go, I want to be there in person, but has all just sort of disappeared. And really the only barriers to entry are, do you have sufficient internet coverage that can keep you, non-interruptive internet coverage, and you have the perfect laptop or mechanism for watching and engaging, and then what's happening around you in your home or work environment, wherever you're working from. And those are more easily adaptable and can be managed than all the other travel and the travel pieces. And for the hosts, same thing. You eliminate the there is team cost and there is audiovisual costs, but it's at a different cost, not lesser. You're trading dollars for dollars. It still takes the same amount of, whether I sit or I stand, whether I'm standing at a live event or I'm sitting at a virtual event, my time is still valued the same.
Absolutely.
And the host time is still valued the same, and the attendees' time is still valued the same. But the change out is you don't need as many. You can do things a little differently, and you can change and move that spend into different ways that you want to spend it. So what would cost, say, 60, 70,000 to put on a live event can really pull it back to even 20, 30,000 and get good quality recording, get good quality follow-up, and you can do really fun things like Sage, Barry and Blue from Sage did. You can send out these awesome gift boxes.
Oh, wow.
To people, swag boxes to your VIPs. And so you can spend that way where you would spend it on food and beverage. You send out, a t-shirt they can wear the whole time. You can have your speakers wear hats and t-shirts and buttons. And I mean, there's just all these different things that you can do in this space that heightens and makes it so much more engaging entertainment. You can add in things like a karaoke night and do virtual karaoke. You can I know we did a virtual karaoke. It was kick-ass, so much fun.
And you don't have to go to the bar to get your drinks. You can just go to your liquor cabinet, which is much cheaper. I know. I may have spent a lot of money on liquor on these, 83-day events and on these cruises. So
yeah, you can. Suzanne Evans just had her Driven event, and I thought it was so cool that she put up. She made really cute cocktail recipes from their favorite drinks. So, they had like the Mula drink, which was, the mule, but it was Mula like money. And they had, so you can get your personality as the host you can do it live, yes, but you can really bring it out in the virtual space. We did an escape room. We had a client who we put 200 people into this escape room game, divided them all up, made them go into breakout rooms and try to figure out how they could escape from the escape room. And that was hilarious. And there's just all kinds of things that you can do. You can have a comedian come in. You can have a magician come in. We had a client that had a magician show everybody how to do a couple card tricks.
All right.
And the card tricks led into, like, if you could learn this card trick and be able to lead people down a path where they're going to pick the right card, then you can lead people down the path that they're going to pick the right business if they coach with you. It was a brilliant strategy.
So that, and I want to highlight that a little bit, in that a funnel is the way you lead people into your world, the way you lead people down a certain path to where you want them to be. And where you want them to be is to engage with you, is to do business with you, is to buy your product or service. Now, one thing that I noticed about the live events going virtual is that you have a lot more people in the audience because, I just did some work at a live event, and we had people who would not normally get on an airplane and go. We had people from New Zealand and Australia and Germany and Europe and all over. And they were able to, attend the event. They were able to get everything that they wanted out of the event. And they had the money to buy the coaching program.
Exactly.
That was pretty sweet.
So think about that. You're absolutely right, Catherine, because think about that. You have at least $1,000 in travel, typically 800 or so, 600 to 800 in travel. And then, so I always say 1,000 because a lot of people rent car. They have Ubers and they've got to get to and from plus their airplane ticket.
Yeah.
You at least have $600 in hotel if you're sharing, and more if you're not sharing.
Right.
So a person's going to spend about $2,000, $2,500 for a week long event, and plus you're gone for a week because you've got to come in the day before. You have the day of the half day VIP thing, then you have 3 days, and then you have the travel home. So you're spending 5 or 6 days on the road and away from your business, away from everything. So I love this space because what happens is that first down payment that you're asking people to put up, they have it.
Yeah,
and
they have it.
if you are providing if you are a coach or a host that is really providing what you're putting out, and your people can make money within the first couple months of doing your program, they're going to give you that money. It's their first down payment. It's part of their second payment. And by the third month, when most of us are stressing, there is no stress because they're following your format and they're making money, and they've already got their first client. And I'm watching over and over, week after week for the last 9 weeks, over and over, that people are buying a $15,000 program, an $18,000 program, a $25,000 program. Yeah. And within 3 months, they've got a first client that covers the cost of that.
Yeah.
And it is amazing. I love it. It's just, I love it.
It's wild. It's wild. And so, I had my first encounter with this at the beginning of May. I was at an event, and then at the end of May, I was at another event, and it was really pretty amazing how that was done. Now you're saying for the last 18 weeks. So, ladies and gentlemen, while you may have been out there catching your quarantine, not catching, but putting on your quarantine 15 and adding those pounds to your butt. Here these ladies were planning events, and it wasn't just these ladies. I mean, I did an event, it was 150 people. I did another event, I think it was 175 people. Toni, how many people have been at some of these events that you've participated in that you've helped put together?
Well, just in the past, 2.5 months, I've seen 260, 280, 190, and 900.
Would you have ever gotten 900 people in a room if it was a live event?
No, the biggest one I've been at in the last 2 years was in Austin, and that was almost at 600, but it was like the entire ballroom of a huge hotel in downtown Austin. Actually, that's rare. Go ahead, Linda. You've got some big ones.
Yeah, I was just going to say, actually, there are a handful of our leaders in the industry that have been putting together 600, 800, 1,000 person live events, but they're rare. They are rare in the sense of them putting on those live events. But now what's happening, even with them, is their 900 or 800 person audience is more engaged. They're more active. They're coming from all over, not just nationally and internationally, but I mean, they're picking up people in all different kinds of places, all different kinds of time zones, and their expanse has been reached. And the average coach or the average person doing a 3-day live event, who normally would, 80 to 100, 110 people, they're seeing 300, 400 people register, and they're seeing about 250 to 300 showing up. So it is an amazing time. And then there's the flip. So let me just share. I had a client who had 36 people in a live event, and happy with that. It suited the event. It was okay, but he sold 14 people into a $15,000 program.
Do the math. Do the math.
That would not have happened in person. He probably would have done 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Because
and had a bigger outlay for the hotel. But that's because he was able to reach people who normally would not have been able to come to the event, who are like, you're doing an event, I'm there, sign me up.
Exactly. People who can't come. So Toni or Linda, how do I plan for these virtual live events? All right. I've put out some information there. I've got my podcast and I've got my followers and I've got all this stuff going on and I do my course. And then my next step is to do a 3-day event to convert people, from the low end product or the free stuff that they've been getting from me, give them more content, more information, and convert them to a $10, $12, $15, $25,000 program or more. How do I plan for this?
Well, and I love the way that you started it, because that's exactly the right mindset. Did you notice that, Linda?
Yep.
She said, I've done my course. I've got my friends. I've got my followers. I've got my social media ready. I've got. I've got. So yes, you are ready. The
Yeah.
only thing that I would stick in there between the I've gots and the I'm going to have is a webinar, so that we can promote the heck out of your 3-day event and get more people going and get more speakers and try to bring in some co-sponsors for you and try to bring in some co-speakers for you. And so that would be the only thing. But normally, I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to see, and please feel free to chime in, Linda. I'd love to see, 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks for prep, so that we can get all the marketing out there.
Not unreasonable.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable, people. Give these ladies time. You can't do it overnight.
That is so true. That's so true.
I've seen people try and do that.
Oh no, I've actually helped people do that, because they were on the verge of tears and they had a commitment, and it was 2 weeks before the event, and they're like, okay, all right, let me see what I can do. Hold on. Let me think of how we can help you out, but never again.
Right.
Well, there you can. I mean, there's been test. We've got test case out there right now, Toni, where people have done, 3 weeks. They've done 2 weeks. But the key for them is they already had a following. They already had a huge membership base that they were drawing from.
Right.
If you've got a huge list, if you've got amazing affiliates that will jump on and in 48 hours turn and push out for you, and you have people that are already following you, yes, you can pump out a 3-day event in 3 weeks and be very successful with it. The average person needs more time than that. They need at least a double up time.
Right.
You need at least 4 to 6 weeks, because you're going to figure from conception to the first invitation that goes out, you're going to need a couple weeks to put the website, the funnels, the campaign together and get it out. And then you're going to have to think about, are you running ads? What are your affiliates doing? Can your affiliates run for you and market for you? So you can do it, but your rate of return might be different. It just depends on what you're looking for. But if you're doing organic culture and organic reach, allow yourself a little bit more time. Just like a live event, it's like going fast but slow at the same time. You want to get the information out there that you're having an event. You want people to come. You want them to know the date, but you want to be slow so that you don't just splash it out there, have people come and not you yourself not be ready, and number two, not have the full audience that wants to be with you be able to come.
Right. And it's sort of, I equate it to, I love to entertain, and I'm a very last minute person. I'll be better, I'll work with you guys. I'll be better. I promise. But I love to entertain, and I'm a very last minute person. And, so when I have people over the house, I'll watch people pull up to the driveway and I'm still vacuuming the living room going, but it's my fault. It's my fault that these things weren't done. And, did I invite these people? Did I reach out to this person? Did I do this? Did I do that? It's all these things that go on. Now imagine that for a 3-day event or for a week-long event, or even for a 1-day event. You invite people over for dinner, that's a couple of hours. A 1-day event is going to be something the night before, and then your full day event, and then you've got all this finishing up stuff. If your audience is engaged, if your JV partners, your joint venture partners are engaged, you can allow yourself less time. And by engaged, it means you put something out there and people react. You put out a request for I put out a request, let's say for Toni and Linda to mail for me to do emails because I'm putting together a 3-day event, and Toni and Linda jump on it rather like that. That's an engaged joint venture partner. If you've got to keep calling up your joint venture partners, or you've got to let them know, which most partners you do, you've got to let them know a year in advance, hey, this is my schedule for this year. You better have your schedule down pat for this year.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely better have your schedule. So err on the side of caution,
Mm-hmm.
err on the side of, I have enough time to invite a lot of people without too much time to make them forget about the event. That's the other thing. So what are some of the considerations, ladies, that I need to include in order to sponsor an online event, a live online event? What do I got to think about in all of this?
Well, there's some generalities. Let's start there. In other words, what will your event be dedicated to? If it's a summit, for example, we're in the process of putting together a health and wellness summit right now. And so your speakers would be yoga people, holistic healers. You would have keto people. You would have, the healthy eating people. And you just see how it goes down. I mean, everything from makeup, to vitamins.
Sure.
So that's an idea. So let's put together the general theme, and then we've got to come up with something catchy for the name of it, and then we got to come up with a good date for you. And one thing that's been helping us a lot is working with the JVIC calendar, by the way, which has so many live events and dates, and like you will, just by comparing your date to what's on the calendar from somebody. So we kind of check out all of the generalities. And that's what I mean by the generalities. And now we go into the specifics, and I'll let Linda take it from here.
So wait, but Linda, before you, and I don't know if the broadcast got a little chopped up, but what Toni talked about is the Joint Venture Insider Circle, the JV Insider Circle. And I think you can find that at jvic.com. I'll put it in the show notes later on, but that's one of the places that has, or it's actually the only place that I know that has a calendar going on. There's also something else called JVology.
Yes.
So
and that's got the global lounge.
Rich and Aman do JVIC. We love Rich and Aman. Jay Facette does JVology. We love Jay Facette. Everybody is working together, because there's 52 weeks in a year, ladies and gentlemen. That's it, 52 weeks in a year. I know this year seems like it's way longer than that, but that's as many weeks in a year that you get. And you've got to plan. And, is my event going up against somebody who's doing the exact same thing with a better audience? Or is my event going up against somebody who's doing something totally different, and it's okay?
Right, and that's something that we help you plan through, because, for example, the JVIC calendar has the 2020 dates, live events, speaking opportunities, podcasts, and summits. Right. So right away we start comparing, what our dates look like, and if it's a good date, then let's go forward, because you're not competing with anybody, and we add you to that calendar on top of that.
Beautiful. Right? Beautiful. Yeah. And Linda, you're going to give us some more details on, what are some of the considerations that I need to have? What are the things I need? Like, what do I got to think about? Don't I just show up on stage and just have you film me and put it on Zoom and let's do it?
No.
Like I'm doing today. Everybody's seeing a different view, by the way. You guys are seeing a different view of my office. You're seeing that little toy there, and the different view of my office is I'm having a hard time with my regular camera. And that happened as we were trying to get on this show. So this is one of the considerations. Linda, tell us some other considerations.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. So basically, if you're going to do a virtual event, there's three ways. It's kind of like doing a live way. There's three. And so the first one is simple. You have a Zoom room. You are there in the audience. You are your own tech. You're putting up your PowerPoint. You're kind of managing things yourself. You're playing a little bit of music, and then you're welcoming your guests, and you're doing it very simple, and it's all on you. That is it can be done, but I don't recommend it because this space, being here, I don't know about all of you, but this space takes more energy and more focus than a live event. My team, we've been talking about this, and it's like the second I look away, something happens in that damn chat room, and I missed it, and I got to go back and find it. And the chat room's going like this, and my host is saying, "I'm waiting. Where's the thing? I'm waiting." And you're, you're looking, so you really can't take your eyes off this. So if you're the host trying to do all of this, you can do it, but I don't recommend it. At least have 2 people supporting you.
Absolutely. I mean, here I am. There's only 2 of you. I'm starting to learn how to use this program, StreamYard.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 of you. And it was difficult at best when you've got 50, 75, 100, 200, 900 people on the call, on the event. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So engage a planner that is going to consult with you and walk you through the steps. That's number 1. Number 2, have a chat person, and then that can be in the chat room with you, whether you're doing a webinar or whether you're doing Zoom room live, it doesn't matter. Just have somebody else there who can help keep an eye on the audience for you and put links up and help you out. And then the other thing is I would recommend that you hire an AV person for the day that can play the music, can kind of be there, be your voice of God. Catherine will be back in 5 minutes. Please listen to this elevator music in the meantime. Whatever it is, just so you have that support. It allows you to walk away. And if you have a technical challenge, you've got somebody right there that can help you. That's the first way. The second way that I encourage clients to do is have a more robust team. Have the event planner with you, have the chat person, maybe consider having another room set up where people can go to have a conversation with your coach or with somebody who's been in your program, or private time with you, so that you can have a guest speaker up. And while the guest speaker is speaking, you can go to another room and have one-on-one conversations with people and talk to people that way. So that's the second way. And the third way is full out support, where you hire an event professional. We bring in the team, we bring in your audiovisual team, we do it for you. And girl, you just show up with all of your glory, your persona, and you lead, you teach, you train, you come in, you leave, you come in, you leave, you do your thing, and drop your offer, make them love you, and boom, you're out. And that's the best way. And it doesn't have to be, there's so many ways of packaging it. And depending on your audience, there's a couple of really great platforms that are off of the Zoom platform that you can use, depending on the size of your audience. And we can walk you through those different platforms and things that you can do. But Zoom room, couple hundred people, 200-300 people all day long, any day, easy to do, nice middle of the road supportive team, very affordable, gonna get you great results. And plan 1 a quarter, have at it.
Wow, one a quarter. But quite often these events are where you're making your money.
Yep.
Here's another question. Because
your 2021 marketing plan. Can you hear me, Catherine? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said your 2020 and 2021 marketing plan should include a high ticket sales creation at least twice a year, minimum twice a year, if not per quarter. And that, like you said, this is the big sale. This is the one that's going to finance the next 3 months, and then that'll finance the next 3 months. Yeah.
That's right.
So and that's something else that we do for people. I do the mind mapping and the marketing planning for my clients, so that we lay out the year and figure out, okay, what are you going to do here? Do you need help? If you need help, then let's work with you.
And when I say 1 a quarter, a lot of people are just selling into an 8-week course right now. They might be selling into a year-long coaching later, but right now they're just selling into that 8-week course.
Right.
So, and with a few VIP days coming out of it. So that's one way that that's one path that you can do, and you can do that every quarter. if you're doing a sales enrollment program and then you're going to have some fulfillment, you might do that once or twice a year and put more money into a bigger expanded outreach. And so, having a bigger program. So you can do your sales enrollment and then you have your fulfillment. And then you get ready for your second sales enrollment and then you have your fulfillment.
And your fulfillment. So let me explain to the audience, for those who aren't doing events, many of you may be doing a course, or you might be doing a small group, or something like that, where you're speaking to people and you're talking to people and you're bringing them in. And you're bringing them in and you're bringing them in, and then you're going to do a course. It's already a pre-recorded course. It's a live course. You're going to be teaching in person, which you're not going to be doing right now. But it's a smaller event. It's something that you're charging anywhere from $497 to $1,497. That's about the range that you're doing it in. And you've got to get a lot of people in to do that. The reason you start smaller with those products is because later on, now people are bringing in money, whatever it is, or they're getting results. So if you're coaching businesses, you're bringing in money. If you're coaching for health, you're getting results. Now the pain is starting to stop. Now the pounds are starting to come off. Now my hair is growing back in, or whatever it is. If it's a health related thing, if it's a business, if it's now my children are behaving better, whatever it is, in this small 6 to 8 week course, your clients are starting to see some results, but it's not all the results. It's not everything that they could do. Yes, if you only have 15, 20 pounds to lose, a 6, 8 week program would be perfect. But if you've got like another 30, 40 pounds to lose, 6, 8 week program is not going to do it. Now you're selling them into a year-long program. Now you're talking to them and saying, look at the results that I've achieved for you. Let's work together a little bit longer so we could get better, more long-lasting results. And those are the types of events that you're holding. You said earlier, the webinars, and then the 1-day event, the 3-day events. The longer the event, the bigger the package that you're selling. But people have to come through the funnel. How many times do I have to tell you? They got to come in the top of the funnel. They've got to work with you all the way down, and they have to come out as a more invested client. And then they go into the next funnel and the next funnel and the next funnel. And in the interim, you're following up with them and following up with them. So that's what Toni and Linda are talking about when they're talking about you want to sell these packages this many times a year. But let me ask you, ladies, if you're doing an event, a 1-day event, a 3-day event, like the ones that so many of us are used to going to. Now, I did my first 1-day event. Barry and I did a 1-day event back in September of 2019. And there were expenses that were associated with it. And so we had other speakers come up. We had people have tables at the event to sell their, not overshadow us, but to offer their products that worked in conjunction. But now I'm in a virtual setting.
There's still plenty of opportunity for sponsors, Catherine, because so many of us are a natural kind of enhancement to what you offer. But I mean, for example, back to that health and wellness show that we're in the process of planning. I mean, I'd love to have people with the the makeup skincare line in the back that could be a sponsor, and the sponsor, as Linda I'm sure was ready to say, gets speaking time. So they have what we call a title sponsor. So they go up on all the websites, they go on all the emails as part of the header. We've got title sponsors, then you've got back of the room sponsors, you've got speaking sponsors, and you've got what we call spotlight sponsors, the hot seat kind of people, the 15 minutes. So there are ways to participate with you.
All right, great. I want to participate. Is it free?
Not necessarily, no.
It could be. Typically with sponsors, it's the same in the virtual space as it is in the live event space. And what we're seeing is there's a 50-50 split of sales. If they're selling something, if you're allowing them to sell something on stage, there's a 50% of sales. There's lead generation where they speak and they're able to make a lead generation so they can collect names for a particular, for their next event or free giveaway tickets, things like that. So there's the free and lead gen. And then there's the pay to play. So that's where they're going to give you X amount of dollars and you're going to give them time and audience and time and place. Right. And they can either make an offer or not make an offer. It just depends. Typically they make an offer, and whether or not you get a spend, whether or not you split the proceeds from that or the profits of that depends on how that package is put together. And what I'm seeing in the virtual space right now is if you have a 300 person audience, 200 to 300 person audience, you can get a 10-minute spotlight sponsor for about $1,000 to $3,000. They get 10 minutes on your stage. It's a spotlight. They pay you, and it is a free lead gen. Then from 3,000 to 5,000 is a 45-minute, 30 to 45-minute speaking spot with a smaller offer that they get to keep.
Sure.
Then I'm seeing some 10,000 and up sponsors where they're getting full 60 to 70 minutes, and they're getting a extra time in front of the audience. Maybe they're also on a panel, and they get to keep their first 10,000 of sales, and then they go to a split with you so that they recoup their ROI on their investment. So it really just depends on you, your audience, and who you're attracting and how you want to ride those packages. But there are sponsors that are still looking to be in this space. And there's definitely speaker sponsors. They want to speak, they want to share their gift. The other thing that I'm seeing people do is, let's say your package that you're putting together is basic business, like how to do a business, and it's basic business skills. Sure, and we're mapping out your strategy for your business. Well, you're going to probably need Facebook ads, and you're probably going to need some kind of software like, Infusionsoft or things like that. So those sponsors can come in, and depending on what that looks like, they can, that first cost of the Facebook ad or that first monthly piece could be added into your program that you're selling. So they speak, and the clients get that first month with that sponsor as part of your package that you're selling. So the only offer that's being made, the only offer that's being made is the ongoing term to keep that Facebook ad campaign or to keep that software package, whatever that particular thing needs to be. And that's great for you because it adds bonus and value to your program. Plus, you're only putting people on your stage that are actually lined up with you and have synergy with you, and they're not competition at all.
That's huge.
Yeah. And then the other,
I was going to say, having that synergy, making sure that you're not making offers, you're not having people on stage for the sake of having people on stage and taking care of your bills, taking care of the cost of, of production, of all of this stuff. Don't just have people for the sake of having people. That's number one. Number two, whether you make an offer or you generate leads is dependent upon a lot of things. And, work with your coach and work with your team on those things. And it's dependent upon how much is your offer? What is the cost of your offer? How confident are you in selling a whole audience from stage versus, getting a card like this with, names and phone numbers and everything, and going to each individual person and saying, okay, you're interested. Let's talk about this, and selling them one-to-one. Where is your strength? Where is your weakness? What does the host want? Sometimes the host will be very specific in their, in what they require and what they're willing to do and what they're not willing to do. Be flexible. These are amazing opportunities for you if you're in the right event with the right people and the right guidance. These are absolutely, these can skyrocket your business, just as if when you're the host of a 3-day event and you've got it, a 1-day event, and you've got this thing down pat. You know what you're doing. You know where you're selling. You know where your strengths are. You know where your weaknesses are. Know your weaknesses, embrace them, and make up for it. When you got all that down pat, it can be incredibly lucrative if you do it right.
Yep.
So how does a sponsorship work on an online live event? It seems like it follows this exact same rules online as it does offline. Is there anything I'm missing here?
Not really. Oh, well, go ahead, Linda. I know you.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, we're still looking at marketing. We're still looking at advertising. We're still looking at title sponsors. We're still looking at time on the stage. We're still looking at time off the stage. We're still looking at everything that goes into pulling this event off. For example, other people hosting you in their interview shows, whoever the other speakers are. We're all like in this one community for this event together. Right. And I think the chemistry that happens during that, 3 or 4 week period is pretty dynamic. And I mean, that one event that Linda was just at with 900 people, you don't think that's worth $3,000 to get in there and talk in front of 900 people when you've got, a $3,000 offer or a $5,000 offer? Yeah. I mean, they're vetted.
That 900 person event was even way more than that. But I know one person who had 75 leads. She was a sponsor. She paid quite a bit. I think she paid probably 10 grand.
Okay.
And was not, and didn't even have, I think she had a commercial time. That's all she got. But she had 75 people sign up to do a call with her.
What was the main package? Now, if you're following me, if you've worked with me, if you've spoken to me for 5 minutes, you are not just offering your high-end package for the sake of offering your high-end package. I will reach through the phone. I will reach through Zoom and I will hurt you. What was the average of her package? Because you're offering the right package to the right people for the right reasons, always. What was the average of the package that this woman was offering?
So the host was offering a package, like the host had sponsors. They were paying I think anywhere from 3,000 and up. I think maybe even 20 or 25 was the top ones. But
okay.
let's say for argument's sake that she did 3,000 to 15,000. Okay. And those people were allowed to, the people that paid the higher end package, they were allowed to do a up to a 1997 package to the audience.
Up to a $2,000 package.
Yep. The people that were paid the lower amount, like the $3,000 amount, they were able to do a lead gen package. Okay, so they were just doing lead gen. So one of my friends, she did the lead gen and she had 75 people sign up to do calls with her, strategy calls with her on the service that she offers. Another person I know who was on the higher end, he had over 30 actual on-site sales for their product that they made from being a sponsor and having people coming in and out of their room all week.
Okay, so I want to just take one of those because we shout out numbers at our audience. We tell our people, well, you can do this and you can do that, but
so let's take the simple 3,000 lead gen offer. Okay, so you spend $3,000, you sit on your bum for 4.5 days, and you now have 75 people that want to listen to your services or be part of your services. Okay. In this particular situation, she is going to put 50 of those people into her product because she's under a $500 product.
So it's a $497. Let's say it's a $500 product for argument's sake.
Yeah.
500 people.
She'll make
50 people. And
She's
it is
gonna make-
a $500 product. So we're looking at $25,000
That's correct.
for a $3,000 investment,
Correct.
which means that your gross net, I know that's, it's an oxymoron, but you spent $3,000, you made $25,000. That means you're walking away with $22,000. You have the cost of maybe having your coach work on you on your presentation, and you have the cost of delivery, and you have the cost of, it's probably not going to be much more than maybe $7,000. All those other costs that you have in there, that's a $15,000 walk away with money in your pocket. Is it worth $3,000? Is it worth getting on stages where people are really concentrating? Here's the other thing that I noticed about these virtual events. People stay put.
Yep.
If the host is really good and says, don't put your happy smiling picture up there, really stay with us at the event, people stay put. They are engaged.
Yep.
They're paying attention. I promise you, as someone who's gone to a number of live events, as I'm in the audience, you are way more engaged on these virtual events than you are in the live events. 'Cause it's easy to go to the coffee stand in the live events. You're more engaged.
And you can go to the coffee stand in the virtual event as well, because during the breaks and at lunch and pre-event and post-event, you get very creative, and you have a karaoke place, you have a coffee clutch, and you allow people to have extra rooms for them to go play in and network in, share information. You set them up for that, and it works amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a brave new world out there. It is a crazy new world out there. You have got to consider doing this. You cannot be sitting at home in your office going, I'm just going to wait until I can go, do a class. I'm just going to wait until I can go be at a live event. I'm just going to wait. You will lose. If you just wait, you will lose. Now, what's been on the screen the whole time, because it's a little bit of a complicated, ToniKauffman.as.me, event planning. We've got that down there. Toni, why is my audience going to copy and paste that into their browser? Why?
That takes them directly to Acuity Planning. And our gift for all of your folks who are listening now or in the future, our gift to you is, instead of paying the $4.95 to do an hour and a half's worth of live event planning, we're giving this to you for free. So this is our gift because Catherine said she wanted something real special for you. And this is from Linda and I. You get feedback, you get to meet us, you get to talk with us. Let's do some real planning and see what we can do and where you fit in the next 12 months.
Yeah. And plan now for the next 12 months.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. We don't know what is happening in the world. We absolutely don't know. Might as well have a live online event planned and kick the live event down the road. Kick it down the road.
Yeah.
And do these virtual events. Don't stop doing business. Don't stop making money.
And don't change your offers. If you have a $25,000 package, keep the value of what you're doing. That $25,000 package, whether you sell it online or whether you sell it virtually, whether you sell it virtually or you sell it in person, it's the same. It's the same offer. The deliverables on the back end are the same. The deliverables don't change. You're still going to have to meet with them. You're still going to have to execute that. And most people, the live event is where you engage and connect and build a relationship, but your deliverable has always pretty much been in the virtual space, with the exception that you may have a retreat or two in the fulfillment process, which you can now still do in the virtual space. But when this first started, I was watching people slashing prices, 25,000, now 12. And I'm like, you still have to deliver on that. That'd be like somebody telling me, Linda, you can sit for $100 a day instead of $500 a day. I'm sorry, my time is, you're still getting my support, my strategy. You're still getting me, whether I'm standing or sitting, you're still getting me. And in fact, you're getting more of me in the virtual space because you have to have more of my attention.
Right.
Because I have to be here with you. Like I said earlier, if I take my eyes off this for a second, God knows what happens. And I'm flipping back through trying to find things.
And by the way, if you've got Linda on your Facebook list, you want to see the picture of the 7 laptops she had in front of her in her room.
Let me tell you, Linda's office is dang impressive. Dang impressive. Here's the other thing. You mentioned the don't slash your prices.
Yeah. Offer something different. If you need to offer a special, if you need to offer a scale back because of where you are in being able to deliver on your program and what's going on. And, if you're a host that has, the 4.5 kids at home and the significant other spouse who's kind of like not really there, but there, because they don't know what they're doing because all of a sudden they've been thrown home and they're trying to figure out their life. I wouldn't recommend you doing your full-blown package if your full-blown package relates a lot for you to do the delivery. But you could certainly come up with a new modified package that you can offer for this 6-month interim and do it in a 6-month. Don't put yourself out there for the whole year. Do a 90-day fast pass or a fast cash or do a 6-month, get it done. And then you can see where this goes. And then from there, you can go, okay, we did a 6-month special. Now we're going to roll you guys into the big program. The other thing that I am seeing people do, which is sheer genius, is taking into consideration where people are. So go ahead, like right now, we're, July 1st, we start the back half of the year, and then you've got all next year. So if you have a $25,000 program, maybe bonus in the 6 months at a special rated added on price. So they're going to get 18 months of you rather than just 12 months of you if they sign now. It'll go all the way through December of 2021. And instead of 25, maybe it turns into 28.
Sure.
And or do a financing plan where you extend the financing plan out on the backside. And you can be so creative with it.
You can absolutely be creative. And here is the reality. I was speaking to someone who does 3-day events in his sleep and closes like nobody's business. And the interesting thing that he said was he did a 3-day event at the beginning of COVID, or no, it wasn't a 3-day event. It was a webinar. It was something. It was some little schmutzy package, little schmutzy thing. And it was at the beginning of COVID, and he experimented. And he said, it's $1,000. We're going to make it $500. Not adding free bonuses on, which is something you can also do. But he said, we're slashing the prices. The reaction, the close, and he knows, all the greats know their close ratio. They do. I don't. I know mostly my close ratio, but I haven't been doing it as long as some of these people have. Knows his close ratio. He's like not even hitting the close ratio. Does another webinar. Does not slash the price. Close ratio goes up. There is a perceived value. There is depending on who you are, there is a perceived price that somebody is going to expect to pay. And there's a perceived value that goes along with that price. And if you slash the price, people
why I believe that is? Because don't have pity on me. If you're going to make me an offer, give me your best damn offer that you're going to give me. I want you. I want all of you.
Yep. Exactly. So, guys, this is something you need to think about. This is something you need to get on with Toni, get on with Linda, get on a call, make the appointment, and just see. Are you ready for this? What do you need to be ready for this? You need to do events, and you cannot do them live and in person. Not yet. But and even when you can, this is a great extra way of doing an event. You do one live event a year, and one great big virtual event a year. That's also a possibility. So go ahead, copy that down. And what I do want to say is, and I haven't been showing it, that's me. You want to know, in the grand scheme of things, when do I talk to Toni and Linda? When do I do this? When do I do that? Let's you and I get on a call and sit and figure out the grand scheme of things. And then I'll tell you, all right, now you got to go to Toni and Linda. Now you got to go here. Now, we are all here for your benefit. We are all here. Every one of my guests, Toni, oh my gosh, Toni and Linda are just, I love these ladies. I love them. So get on a call with me, get on a call with them, get to the appointments. Toni, Linda, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
You're welcome.
Making this amazing offer, because I twisted their arm. You know, I twisted their arm. You know, I was like on them before this call, but seriously, this is an amazing offer. To just talk with them for free is well worth your time.
Free never hurts anybody.
Thank you so much. Mwah, mwah. I appreciate you so much. Bye-bye.